Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm Duel, aka the Big D of Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews, with another back-to-back video game review in my spooktacular October. So now I'm going to bring to you another pair of reviews, this time just a couple of games, in the Castlevania series. So, anyway, as you may know, if you haven't seen one or two, I appreciate it, because I've already reviewed the NES games in one vid and the Game Boy games. Now it's time I tackle the 16-bit games we got. Now, however, I'm excluding Dracula X for Super Nintendo, as I will be focused on that tomorrow when I review the original version of it, Rondo of Blood, in a back-to-back review with the ever-popular Symphony of the Night. So now, without further ado, let me present to you the first game I'm going to review is Super Castlevania 4, released in 1991, and of course by Konami, because they are the same company that brought us Castlevania. Anyway, I remember playing this at a friend's house. That was one of the first Super Nintendo games I played, along with the Addams Family and, let's see, oh yeah, and Super Mario World and Super Mario All-Stars. Now, I wasn't quite that good at first, but years later, after watching numerous playthroughs and after getting the SD-20, I managed to get this game. And, well, although I've only been at once, and this is the only other Castlevania game I got other than the original, this is the only Castlevania I've ever actually beaten. Now, because it took me a long time to get through some of these stages, because some of these stages are really tough. But however, I managed to have a little bit of hardcore gamer in my blood, so I decided to give the dice a roll and give it a shot. I'm going to say Super Castlevania 4 is amazing. It's great. Although it's considered to be a remake of the original, and I kind of do agree it is. Anyway, this was also one of Konami's first games on the Super Nintendo. Of course, they did some other games, including Gradius 3, and let's see, The Legend of the Mystical Ninja, and a lot of others. Too many to mention, I think. Oh, but, oh well. Anyway, I absolutely loved Super Castlevania 4. The graphics were just amazing. You're once again back in the role of Simon Belmont, famous vampire hunter. Now, this game has some pretty good techniques and what have you. You can now spin Simon's whip in a circle. You can also aim it in different directions, up, make it hang down, or you can do it diagonally, which you'll possibly need to do to swing over gaps and what have you over these here hook things you'll find in stages. And you gotta hold the buttons down to do that, or else if you don't hold the button down, you fall to your death. Yeah, that's what I learned, and then I soon got the hang of the game and everything. Now, of course, Dracula is back, and this time ready for Simon. But anyway, you can't go wrong with Super Castlevania 4. Now, I'll show you again. Here's some more good stuff I love about the game is the soundtrack. The soundtrack to the game is amazing. I love Simon's theme, which is the first song you hear in the game, the song you hear in the first stage. You have 11 stages to go through, which that's a real challenge. Now, the first 9 are numbered, but the other 2 are marked Stage A and Stage B. Now, in every stage except for Stage 5, which is pretty short, you have a boss encounter. Now, you do have a boss encounter in Stage 2, but it's halfway through the stage. Now, also, unlike other Castlevania games, Stage 2 and Stage 5 won't Well, we'll let if you once you complete, you go on with the number of hearts you have for your sub weapon. Yes, you have all the sub weapons again, like the boomerang cross, the holy water, the axe, and also the knives. So, give this your all, friends. Would I recommend Super Castlevania 4? Hell yeah, you need to play this game. This game is currently on the recently released Castlevania Anniversary Collection, which came out earlier this year for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Definitely give this a shot. You won't be disappointed. Now, you will encounter enemies old and new in this game, like the skeletons, the armored knights, which can be troublesome. Bats, of course, which can also be a nuisance. I forgot about them. And, of course, those terrible, annoying Medusa heads, which are kind of a bit of a pain, but they're not too bad once you whip in different directions. You'll have no trouble. But, again, like I said, you need to play Super Castlevania 4. Trust me, you're gonna love it. I'm serious. Okay. Now, for my other review, I'm going to review Castlevania Bloodlines. Now, this game was released on Sega Genesis, being the second, non-Nintendo released Castlevania game next to Rondo of Blood, which was only released in Japan the previous year. The game was released in 1994, and this kind of takes an important part of the Castlevania series. Now, I don't need my source to do it, because I've watched, like Super Castlevania 4, I've watched numerous plays of the game. Now, I absolutely love the storyline. Now, even though you had to wait for the intro card in Super Castlevania 4 to wait for the story, once the Konami logo comes up and fades out, you'll get the storyline. Now, the storyline for Castlevania Bloodlines is kind of a surprise. It takes place kind of bridges the gap in the events of I think the First World War and the story of Bram Stoker's Dracula. Now, we soon see the main threat of this game, the niece of Dracula, Elizabeth Bartley, that's the character's name in the game, and is seeking out to revive her uncle. And now you got two new characters to play as. The game's unfortunately one player, so you can't play as two characters. You have John Morris, who is a descendant of the Belmont family. Well, sort of, because he uses the whip. And Eric Lacard, who uses this here special spear. Now, you get a special power-up to help you give your character some a special power. If you collect 3 of a certain item, which those range from the boomerang, which is a razor-bladed boomerang, not like the one you saw in the cult classic Kroll. It's like a moon-shaped, a crescent-shaped razor-bladed boomerang, and the holy water. Now, if you get 3 of a kind, your whip or spear will be upgraded. Now, you can go in different paths in some stages, because Eric can do a special super high jump. You have to charge him up just like what you do in Super Mario Bros. 2. Which that was really cool. Now, the game unfortunately only has 6 stages, and I forgot to mention, like both games, Super Castlevania 4, I'll give it a quick showing again, and Bloodlines, both provide a password system just in case you get stuck, or if you're tired of getting so many game overs. Anyway, the game only has 6 stages though, Castlevania Bloodlines, but however, they are very kind of long though, and each stage ends with a pretty big boss battle, ranging from an axe battler, the golem, gargoyle, to probably more creative bosses like the Princess of Maz, and the Gear Steamer, which I think that's probably the best boss in the game. Now, the first 5 stages are pretty cool. You have to go through Europe, leading up to 6th stage, the fictional castle Proserpina. Or Proserpina. I forgot how to pronounce that. Sorry, everyone. But anyway, the other 5 stages are really cool. You start in the remains of Dracula's castle first. And then you'll go on through to the Atlantis Shrine in Greece for the second one, which definitely has a very good song, actually. I think you all looked that song up, but I forgot what it was called, though. The third stage is the Leaning Tower of Pizza. Pizza. Sorry, I got that. I keep messing up with pizza and pizza, because there was a restaurant called Leaning Tower of Pizza. Sorry. The Leaning Tower of Pisa is your third destination in Italy, and believe me, that part where you go up the Leaning Tower is a real challenge, because you're going to have some annoying Medusa heads in your way, big time. Anyway, now if you can beat the game, you'll unlock a special expert setting, where you can get a real special message. But anyway, back to the game though. The fourth stage is the munitions factory in Germany, which actually has a song called Iron Blue Intention. Look that song up. That song is probably the best song in the whole Castlevania Bloodlines soundtrack. Now they actually did use a Genesis 16-bit version of Simon's theme to be featured in the game. They did have some for, let's see, Beginnings and Bloody Tears. Unfortunately, they aren't in the game, but you can check them out in the options menu for sound test, which that's pretty cool. The fifth destination is the Versailles Palace in France, and then Castle Proserpina, how the heck you pronounce it, to face Dracula. But, well, you have to face off with Death first, and also where you have to have rematches with the mid-3 bosses, Golem, Gargoyle, and the Gear Steamer. And then you'll take on Death. After that, you face Bartley, and then you'll confront Dracula in a real epic final battle where you have to face him 3 times. Yeah. You know, it has pretty epic boss music too. Final boss music, that is. But anyway, would I recommend this game? Hell yeah. I've never played it. I've never played many Sega Genesis games. If I did have a Genesis or a clone system, I would give anything to try Castlevania Bloodlines. Like I said, I've seen numerous walkthroughs of the game. I think the game looks incredible. The music's great. I love the characters. The bosses are creative, most notably the Gear Steamer, and well, you got old and new foes to go up against. Oh yeah, you can also find that on the Castlevania Anniversary Collection as well. So definitely give Castlevania Bloodlines a shot. So now you know about these 2 great games, Super Castlevania 4 and Castlevania Bloodlines. Check them out. You won't be disappointed. Anyway, that's going to do it for this review. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you very much for watching. If you played these games and like them, please let me know in the comments section. Like and subscribe to my channel. And tomorrow I will finish with my review of Castlevania Rondo of Blood, which was only released in Japan and later released in the US as a butchered part called Dracula X, which I'll do both of those along with the ever popular Symphony of the Night. Yes. So, thank you again for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya!